Who's homeless in Charlotte County? In January of each year, the Homeless Coalition coordinates an actual count of homeless people. We know we're not finding and speaking with everyone who's homeless. In fact, the federal government says it's likely that for every one person we count, there are 2 more we missed. So that means you could triple the numbers I'm about to give you. Let's begin. In the year 2013, we counted 573 homeless in 534 households. 62% were men, 38% women, 93% were white. What about ages? We counted 174 under the age of 18, 25 people between 18 and 24, 292 between 24 and 60, and 82 over the age of 60. 88, or not quite a quarter of Charlotte County's homeless, are veterans. 223, or 42% of those we counted, report having a disabling condition. Half of these individuals acknowledged a mental health issue. A third of those with a disability had drug or alcohol issues. How long have they been homeless? 38% for between 3 months to a year, and another 38% for more than a year. As to why people are homeless in Charlotte County, 38% for employment or financial reasons. 20% were forced from their homes. 22% say their medical or disability problems resulted in homelessness. 20% had family problems. People always ask if the homeless are really Charlotte County residents. Well, 75% of the homeless people we surveyed have lived here for more than a year. The Charlotte County schools report their own numbers when it comes to homeless students. Their latest count shows they've registered 479 homeless kids. Of these, 56 are in West County, 298 in Port Charlotte and Murdoch, 125 in Punta Gorda and Deep Creek, and 104 of these kids are considered unaccompanied youth, which means they're completely on their own, no family. Now, it's time to meet some of the homeless people right here in Charlotte County. Let's begin with me. 2007, I was working for a broadcast company here in Charlotte County, and things have a way of snow piling, which they did that particular year. I had a significant other who got ill. I had a brother I was looking out for. I was given notice that my services would no longer be needed with the radio station once it was purchased by another company. And my final day was Friday, December 7th, and on December 15th, a Saturday, the next day, I was served with foreclosure papers on the place I was living in since my landlord hadn't made a mortgage payment in 5 months. So I immediately applied for unemployment. I had savings to live on. That lasted me about 18 months. So from that point, it's a matter of losing your driver's license because you can't insure your car, and then you're forced to sell your vehicles. One thing leads to another. So after about 16, 18 months of living off my savings and unemployment benefits, which I got for 48 weeks, and piecing together temporary jobs and day work, I found myself chronically homeless. Well, I'd like to think there's still opportunity because of the country we live in, but I'm becoming more convinced that at my age, just turning 56, I'm sure I'm going through some sorts of discrimination at times. I'm just not a guy they're going to vest. I can see that, and I've certainly been passed over for interviews. I know that. Ideally, I would like to think there's still opportunity. If I could hang a shingle out and apply my experience, I would. It's all about possibility. I'm still thinking in terms of opportunities. 56-year-old man that still feels like he's about 35 in his mind, so I still have my faculties and my gumptions and my abilities. I stay clean, stay cleaned up and presentable, because I never know who I'm going to meet, and that's my lifestyle anyway, is to be squared away, and you never know who you're going to meet, so you got that first, it's always that last chance to make a first impression. You need opportunity. You need somebody to give you an entryway in so that you can get some sort of opportunity to begin work again, and you have to have some tenure with a roof over your head to save up enough money to get a place to live again, and that's going to take time. You get to the point where you realize that your opportunities are few. You try to make every lick count that you can get, people you come across. And it's adapting to a whole new way of life, that things aren't going to come along like they used to.
I was a contract designer, draftsman for 30 years, and I didn't have a college degree, and the money that I was making, the contracts drew out. Nobody would pay me the money or do anything, and I tried lower contracts, but anyways. And my family was all gone. I'm the only one, so I was homeless in Michigan and moved south, and have been homeless ever since, looking for jobs every day. I've gotten part-time jobs here and there, but nothing that would get me off the streets. It costs a lot of money, with first and last month's rent, and being single without a family, it's pretty much a no-go unless unless you have a family. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't do drugs. I have somewhat of an education, 30 years as a draftsman. I've designed engines for Ford, so I know how to add and subtract. But what I've been told most off is overqualified, which means I think it's too old. And nobody wants to hire a 55-year-old to do the job of a 20-year-old that'll take $8 an hour. I had everything. I had houses, cars, everything. And but that's material things. You don't need those anymore. You just trust in yourself. It's dangerous out there. It's very dangerous being single and homeless. Everybody's out to get you. The authorities, everything. I mean, yes, I'm camped illegally, okay, but you have to go someplace. And Salvation Army's great, but it's $10 a day. I don't have that $10 a day. You can't even pick up cans, and which I did a long time. It's only 40 cents a pound. That's a lot of cans you have to pick up. And then, once you have a backpack on, you're marked. I walked from Bradenton to here on a weekend and somebody told me about this place. And I waited till Monday and talked with the people in charge, and I got in here for 2 months. That was nice. They're only pretty much taking families now. So I got my tent and went into the woods. You have to have a tent to get out of the rain and the bugs and everything else. You have to have that. That's not what I want to do. That's not my goal. I search every day on the internet for jobs and stuff like that. That's it. That's what we need, jobs. You give a person a job, he can get into a place, but not a job making $6 an hour for 10 hours a week. You can't do that. You can't even save that much money, to get into a place. You can't do it. You need substantial work, and then show up every day, work hard, 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day even, at a good rate, a good fair price.
Well, I was successful in working, and I got into a bad relationship, and I walked away from my home because it was upside down in the real estate market, and I quit my job at a reputable newspaper. Moved down here with a boyfriend, and soon found out that was a big mistake, and then tried to leave. And then when I finally was able to leave, he basically took away my truck and made it impossible. Made my daughter and I homeless while he's at the house, and we're here. And they've been good to us here. I was able to get a bicycle, and I might have a job. I'm taking advantage of what they offer here because I can do the schooling with the grants and whatnot. And because by trade I'm a printer, so I need a knee replacement. I've had neck surgery. Realistically, I'm not going to be able to continue doing that, and that's why I decided to go back into school. And what I would really like is to be like an occupational therapist and get, and that'll be somewhat, that'll be in the price range of what I was working and earning. You never know that this is out there and how much this is out in the community. And there's a, how do you say, there's this belief that homeless, is drug addicts or criminals, but it's not, and I always believed that, until I came here. And I've seen other women and children in the same situation as I. and trying to get back on their feet and do it and do okay, you know. I think it makes you stronger in the long run. You know what you can do, you know, when you never really thought about it. But no, I never would have thought for a minute, you know, because I was middle class, gated community, you know, multiple vehicles. And I'm on a bicycle.
It was just an accident, which is I'm wearing the sling right here, right now. There was three of us down on the other end near Punta Gorda renting a 3-bedroom house, and it was time to move on from there. And I had vacated at the first of the month and was waiting until my paycheck, which would come on Friday. I get paid weekly, and then I was going to move into my new place. And when this happened, I'm unable to work, so unable to get paid, so I had to take drastic measures, and thank God this was here. It gives me time to recover, and it's just been a godsend to me. Something that I never expected that I would ever have to be in or need, or before I even came to Florida, I never even really knew of a homeless situation. I've always had a good income, came from a good family, so I guess I was kind of insulated from the reality of it. Little did I know within 7 years I'd be dropped right into the middle of it. Thankfully, I'm employable, and this injury is only temporary, so it's the best of a worst situation, I guess you could say. It's a total culture shock. You living in a community like this, there's limited privacy. You know, there's never really anywhere that you can sit and actually do paperwork that you need to do, or any studying, telephone calls. I mean, it's just very difficult. Community living, sharing showers, you know, sharing spaces. It's just it's something that I'm not used to. I mean, it's just a whole different world, and it's been a learning experience. And you know, hopefully it's just a temporary one, and I hopefully will never end up back in a situation like this. I don't like being here, but I'm thankful that it is here.
Before I came to the shelter, I was in prison. I did 13 years in prison for trafficking cocaine. Like I did 13 years at Florida State Penitentiary. You know, I was released from Charlotte Correctional Institution to Charlotte County Jail. From Charlotte County Jail, while I was there at my stay at Charlotte County Jail, on process of being released, I asked some guys around where was the homeless collision located, you know, because I had been planning, you know, to start brand new, you know, instead of going back to the people I used to hang around and, you know, stuff. I want to start brand new, you know. It's been 13 years and I'm tired, you know, of living, you know, the same rough life in the streets, dealing with the same people. I just wanted something brand new, you know, be around people that, you know, really care, you know. I don't have to look over my shoulder and, you know, worry about getting killed, you know, being accused for something I didn't do, you know. Just want to be around people that's, you know, spirit uplifting. It was like I was just let out to the streets, you know, and this here really helped me. When I got here, actually they saved me. They you know, they gave me a shot. They gave me a try. They said, Gary, we're gonna give you a bed. We're gonna help you out. We're gonna help you get on the right track, you know. But you gotta help yourself. When I first got here, they gave me a bed, you know, and set me up where I can get food stamps. Helped me get Social Security. I landed a job within a week and a half out of being doing 13 years. I got up every day. I got up. I did my interview with the caseworkers here, whatever they wanted me to do, I had to do. I got up, I went, put applications in everywhere, jobs everywhere. And everywhere I put the application in, I got up every morning and went back to those same spots, double checking every morning for 7 days, every spot. So once I got the Steak and Shake, I had been there like almost 8 days, Steak and Shake. And the manager was like, I don't have nothing for you. I told you I'd call you when, you know, we get something. I said, well, I'm just checking. You know, I need a job. So I say the 9th day of going to Steak and Shake, I I went back, the manager said, you just don't give up. I said, I need a job. He said, I tell you what, you going to buy your uniform, I hire you. I come back here to the homeless coalition and told the people here that I needed, they gave me a job and I needed a uniform. So the head guy here, John, went in his pocket, gave me $75 and something in Walmart, get me a uniform. I got the uniform, I went back up and they hired me, you know, and I've been there since, you know, since I've been there, I've gotten a raise, you know, I started off with $8, now I'm making $12, you know, and actually today, for the first time, they trusted me with counting the money at the store. The manager called me in the office, she said, Gary, and I go to the office, she said, count that money for me. I counted it was $1,005. She trusted me. I mean, I felt good about it because, you know, people starting to trust me now. People starting to, I'm starting to be a human being again. From the day I've been released from that jail up until now, it's been good things happening in my life. And coming here, man, I thought I was in paradise, man. I mean, I used to have pride. And my pride, years ago, my pride wouldn't allow me to come to this place like this, come to no place like this. But I learned you have to let that pride go. You know, sometimes you just got to let it go, you know, because if you don't, you can miss out a lot in life. You know, your pride can hurt you. But now I came to realize that, you know, hey, you know, I need this. You know, I didn't imagine how bad it was. I didn't imagine how how the economy was. I used to hear about it in prison and read about it in the papers and stuff like that, but I didn't realize how bad it was until I got out. You know, before I went to prison, people that you see in the homeless collision or shelter were drug addicts. But now you have family members, you have kids, you know. I mean, I'm like, wow, what's going on in the world? And it's really scary, you know. And now I realize, and you know, for me to get out after doing 13 years and land a job within 2 weeks, that's a blessing for me.
Who's homeless in Charlotte County? All sorts of people. And aside from homelessness, we have one other thing in common. We need your help. If you can contribute money or donate your time to the Charlotte County Homeless Coalition, the people you've just met and many more like them will be grateful. Please, make a commitment to make a difference. I'm Guy Keating. Thanks for watching.